Hi. Okay. Just give me 1 second here before we get started. There's a lot I want to go over tonight. This is a big announcement. It's very cool what I'm about to share with you. There we go. And I want to make sure I'm everywhere I want to be. Okay. If 5 years back, somebody had said to me, let's take a look at what you're doing with your efforts in dollars spent, energy spent, and using all of the different platforms that you have accessible, which it was a different list than it is now. I'm gonna show you what you're currently doing so that we can pivot it and do things smarter. I would have jumped so high because I didn't even know where to start. I knew that I wanted to make things easier in my practice. I knew that I wanted to have my message about chiropractic go far and wide. And, ever since I knew that chiropractic was a thing, I've wanted to stand on the rooftops and scream and say, everybody, don't you know this is the greatest thing ever? And I really want to make sure that the efforts I'm putting out there are paying off. And I hear this a lot. I see practitioners spending so much money on ads and SEO, and they don't really have the tools to measure how productive their output is. So we have a lot of people who reach out to us being the Staffless Practice team, saying, I want to make sure I'm gaining traction. I want to make sure that the companies and the teams that I'm leaning on to get the word about my practice out there they're doing their job. They're gaining traction. It's moving in the direction I want. And, I can certainly create systems and solutions, and we even created a software platform, right? But at the end of the day, if there's nothing to measure, we don't know how good it is. So I wanted to put together a free audit so that I could say to you, hey, Barb, come into my Zoom for 15 minutes. Let me, in an automated way, because as much automation as possible is what makes my world go round and round. In an automated way, let's take a look at your current efforts in time, energy, money, in growing the practice and sustaining the practice. And let's see if there are places that you could move the needle. And I searched and I searched and I searched, and I really wanted to find a calculator, like something that I could literally, I've got a calculator sitting here, something where I could type the numbers in and it would say, this is how much money you could be saving. And I couldn't find it. And I signed up for all these programs. I know that I have to remind myself to unsign up for them because I'm definitely guilty of doing that. And nothing hit it the way that I wanted it to hit it, so that if I only have 15 minutes with you to say, this is how much money and time and energy you could be saving on your practice right now, I want to nail it. So I found it. And I found it because we actually built it on our own. We built the Staffless Practice Calculator so that I could take your numbers. You're going to have to get vulnerable with me and say, this is what I'm spending on my phone and my email software and my coaching platform, whatever it is that you're investing in right now. We're going to do a deep dive, and it's only going to take 15 minutes. Not only that, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute. When we come to this meeting, I'm going to show you 2 reports that we've already run. As long as you give us the information, we need your business name, your current website, and your location. That's it. And as long as you give us that when you sign up, and you'll see the link below where I'm talking, it's this practicesuite.com. You'll see it'll pop up and say, hey, you want a free audit? You can't miss it. As long as you give us that information, we'll have these 2 reports waiting for you when you meet me or one of my team members in Zoom, and we'll go over it in 15 minutes. So I want to show you what we're doing. I just want to make sure I don't screw up the view. Okay. So I really did do this. I went ahead and ran this report on my practice. I have a private practice, a chiropractic practice in Clinton, New Jersey. And what you're looking at here is it's a company called Local Falcon. And this is what we do for you when we do this audit. My practice is right here in the center. It's this number one right here, right? And I'm crushing it. And the funny thing is that, and this goes to show you, I do nothing to advertise my practice, nothing. I've just been at it for a long time. I've got a lot of reviews. And when somebody reviews me, I say thank you. And I've checked a few boxes on my website, and I'll show you that too. In order for me to show up like this, no money, no time to manipulate it, nothing. I'm just showing you, see all these ones? This means if I'm standing in Clinton, New Jersey, which is right in the center, I'm ranking number one all the way around. You see that? In some places, I'm ranking number two, and I can actually click on the two and see Abundant Health Chiropractic. The coolest thing is that I love all of these people. So I see this report and I'm like, that's awesome. He's crushing it. I love that he's ranking higher than me in his town, because that's his town, you guys, right? There's room for everybody in my playground. So I'm right here. I'm number one all the way around, exactly where I want to be. I did this report based on a keyword or a set of keywords, chiropractor in Clinton, New Jersey. And we also ask you when you get this audit, if you know what you want your keyword search to be. So this is part one of the audit. How are you currently ranking? Part two is we're going to go through what's called the Staffless Practice Calculator. And I'm going to say to you, okay, Jode, like these days, I take my iPad and I show up at my office. My iPad is on a data plan. I pay, I don't know, an extra $10 a month on my AT&T plan for my data plan. And I've got my iPad, and that's what I bring to the office. I don't have Wi-Fi in my office anymore. I've got nothing. I don't have a phone, nothing. Because on my iPad, I have my practice suite. I have Jane app, which is my EHR program, Yay Jane. I have, and that's really all I need, Jane app and the practice suite. And as long as I have my iPad with me, I'm good to go. I don't need Wi-Fi. I don't need a phone. If I want to answer the phone, I can do it right from my iPad when somebody calls into the practice suite. So these are the numbers that a typical office is currently paying. So software and hardware, right? Practice phone, e-blast software, mass texting, contact management, and so on and so forth. And what we're going to do in this audit is you're going to say, yep, I'm paying for my practice phone. And I'm considering a very minimal number for each one of these. So $40 for a phone, it's a really low number. We actually use ChatGPT to guesstimate the cost of each of these. And every one of them were on a range. And I took the low end of each range, okay? So right off the bat, the practice phone, it's $40 a month. Usually the typical office will spend 4 hours a month on the phone, or I'm sorry, 4 hours a week on the phone answering calls. If you're paying somebody $22 an hour to answer those calls, it's an average of $352 a month. So already we're at $392. Mass texting, yep, I certainly need that for my practice. It's $125 on average for mass texting. It takes maybe an hour a week to send out a mass text to my practice. That's another $196. Already I'm at $588. Let's say I also have a review request and reputation management software, which is really important. That's going to run an average practice about $250. Now I'm at $834. Let's also include a fax, right? An average fax is about $20 a month. It takes maybe 30 minutes a week to manage faxes for the typical practice. And that's another $68 a month. Already, guys, we're at $902 a month on software, okay? And time to run the software. And then we're going to go to, let's see, most of us use a social media posting software, I'll choose that. It's about $75 a month. I didn't even include time in this. So here we are at night. We're almost at $1,000 a month. Website and SEO, we all have that. I'm already at $1,100 a month. Okay. So I'm not even choosing all of them. I have always had a coaching group that I've been a part of. So I'm going to include that, $1,200 a month. That's about right. I'm always looking for tech support. My husband and I were just talking about this. Couple $100 a month for tech support. I'm only including $130 a month here. And then let's also just say, just for, you know what, and giggles, an SEO service. Like, let's say I'm feeling like, you know what, I want to include SEO for my practice. Now we're at $2,800 a month, $2,850 a month. That's a low estimate, guys. Okay, this is just for the software and hardware and the service and support for my practice. The typical monthly cost is at about $2,200, and the labor is at about $586 if I have a team doing this for me. And here I am at $2,851. I'm being really modest on these numbers. So the cool thing about this is that, and I'm giving this to you. Like, if we do this audit, you get this copy is all yours. And then the report is going to be down here for you. The cool thing about this is that everything that I just checked off, all of these things are part of what we offer in the practice suite for $500 a month. So the phone, it's actually all of the things on this list. The phone, the e-blast, the mass texting, the contact management, voicemail drop, ring list voicemail, missed call text back, lead capture, contact forms, landing page, reactivation, recalls. Let's just go through the whole thing. Review request, reputation management, e-fax, your online fax service, your website, your SEO, your appointment reminder software, your internal task follow-up system. All of these things combined, if I combine all of them, I'm at $4,600 a month. That might sound ridiculous to you. Let's say that we're not even including the work to put the work into it. The service alone, the software alone, is at $3,367 a month. That's typical. That's typical. I'm not including the service and support down here, the blog, the podcast, all of these things that we also include in the practice suite. So all of these things are part of what we give you for $500 a month. If you need a website, we build you a brand new website. We run on-page SEO to it, meaning we take care of keywords on the page. If you need more than that, we have an SEO add-on that you can choose. And if you need a website, it's an extra $139 a month for us to update it, for us to run SEO on it, for us to make sure if your hours change that we update the hours on it, and so on and so forth. All of that is included in your practice suite. Some people say to us, I can't even think about getting started in something like this. No problem, we'll do it for you. We'll run it for you. We'll run your social media for you. We'll do all of it for you. You guys, in my world, if you could wave a wand, you can. You can wave a wand. And I want you to have this experience where you know we've got you. Every once in a while, one of our clients gets pissed off. And if a client is pissed off, I'm pissed off. And because we want you to have the Disney experience every time. And we're growing fast. So we course correct whenever we get feedback that's less than excellent, so that we can run this for you. And not only are you saving this money, you're also loving the experience. So let's just take a peek at what the practice suite looks like. So just to go through some of the things I just covered on this calculator, here's the suite. Here are your conversations where the text, the voicemails, the fax, and the e-blast happen. Here's your review request button. You click that button, and this person is going to get a request for leaving you a review. You can do this in an automated way on a specific visit. You can do it whenever somebody says how awesome their experience with you is. And then you can make it so that they don't get asked again if they've left you a review. Calendars can be integrated into your EHR program. You can see the calendar, you can't touch it. That's a really important distinction. We take care of your contact import for you. Outreach, you connect all of your social media platforms. You guys, it's next level. It's so cool. So you want to start with taking a look at what does your calculator currently look like? How are you currently doing with SEO? Are your marketing efforts paying off? And then the other thing that I'll do is we'll look at your website and we'll say, how efficient and productive is your website in reaching the right people? You know, I want to make it really easy for people who are not tech oriented to understand the value in this. And I think that we nailed it with this audit. So if you want to learn about how well your practice is doing, you might be kicking butt. You might be doing great right now, but let's take a look. Go to thepracticesuite.com, and you'll see everywhere on that page to get a free audit. And let's meet in Zoom and let's take a look at what you've got going on. Totally free, no strings. A lot of people will say to me, well, what does let's actually go over there. People will ask me about what the practice suite costs, and it's a really good question, and let's give it some attention. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so if you're on this website, thepracticesuite.com, this big yellow button will pop up, and you can click it to learn more, and this tells you about the audit, and all you have to do is click this button and make sure you fill out all these lines. The more information you give us, the better, okay? Let's just go back to the practice suite. I give you a once over on what's included. I'm also giving you screenshots here on what the practice suite looks like, all of the different cool features that it has. And then this is our DIY option. If you are tech savvy, if you can follow the instructions and do the thing, you're looking at about $500 a month to replace about $2,800 a month. The phone, the fax, the e-blast, the texting software, all of it, right? If you're like, I don't have the bandwidth, I'm not tech savvy, I don't want to run this for myself, then you're looking at our Suite Success program, which is just a totally badass coaching program to help you come up with all of the correct information so that we can build this suite for you and then run it for you. So, so good. This website will also give you more information about what the practice suite is all about, but let's start with an audit, okay? If you have questions, leave them below where you're watching this video, or come on over to thepracticesuite.com. Let's start with a free audit. Let's spend some time in my Zoom. Right now, at the time that this is being recorded, I'm doing these calls because I want them to be perfect. And then I want to train the next in line to do them on my behalf, because that's the way the world's going round and round for me these days. Okay, go make the world better with great care, guys. And thanks for listening.